Have a question?
Yes.
Hi. So first time, so maybe this is something, but when putting the attention on the behind the pubic bone, and also have to look at you, and I kind of a little bit, it's interrupting each other, like put attention here or here. Or I don't have to look at you, I just have to look, but still put my attention here. I
Well,
wasn't.
takes practice. It takes learning how to do it. It takes not wanting to be a master the first time you sit down and do it, but you're here to learn something that is really important. How to be in the world and how, at the same time, to be centered at the very core of your being so that you have all of that internal power and strength to be able to live in the world, keep your heart open, your mind quiet, and to have incredible life that way. So, it takes mastery of this. It's not something that you just sit down and do. You have to learn how to do it. We're so used to being in our heads all the time, thinking, blah, 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 so much tension and nonstop. And then we have to deal with this external world, which, God knows where you live. It's even more intense than where I live. And we have to deal with both of them. But being centered enables the mind to get quiet, enables the heart to get open. Enables us to deal with what can be called karma, our external life, our activity in the world, without allowing the world to suck us dry, to drain all of our energy out of us. So it's something that has to be learned. It's not something that you just sit down and do. It took me a long time to learn how to do this, studying with my teacher. But it's a thing that has saved my life over and over again, and made it possible for me to live, in a way which I never dreamed I could live. Being quiet inside, being peaceful inside, living with my heart open, being able to have compassion for other human beings, being able to just be a happy person living in the world. And that's not an easy thing to do because we live in a crazy world. And we need to learn how to build the internal strength to do it. So my teacher, Rudy, devised this exercise where you are in the world by keeping your eyes open. At the same time, you have your attention below the navel, right at the core of your being. And you're building the strength to be able to deal with this, to be able to keep your mind quiet, heart open, and learn how to live here like a human being. I mean, I would say 90% of the nonsense would stop in the world if people would learn how to do this, how to be centered, heart open, mind quiet, and actively live their life. Now, when people study the martial arts, they're taught this. They're taught about chi, they're taught about the hara, the tatien, below the navel, the power that's there, being centered there, and in a sense, what I teach is kind of a martial art. We're not going to get in a ring and fight other people, but we're going to deal with the intensity of life and learn how to stay quiet and centered in ourselves and to be able to, function in the world as a human being and to be able to take care of our life without life taking care of us, you know, sucking us of all our energy. So have patience. It's your first class. I don't expect you to be able to master this the first time you try to do it. It takes time, but it's a wonderful thing to learn. And I mean that. It's an extraordinary thing to learn. And it comes to its practice. Does anyone else have a question would like to ask? I mean, look, the bottom line of all of this is not even a spiritual life. That comes. It's learning how to be a human being. That's the bottom line of all of this. Because once you master that, I mean, the cosmos is waiting for you to master that. It wants to provide all of the Shakti, all of the energy that's imaginable, but you can't receive it unless your heart is open, your mind is quiet, you're centered, you have strength enough inside to receive that energy. So the development of our humanity is the key to having a spiritual life. And once we develop that, I mean, trumpets go off. It's the hallelujah chorus in the cosmos. My God, another person has learned we can, we can provide the energy to help them attain spiritual enlightenment. Does anyone else have a question? And, nobody is, look, tension is endemic. It's everybody in the world suffers from it. Learning how to master your tension and internal chaos is an extraordinary art to be able to do what I'm talking about. Otherwise, we're just ripped apart by all this chaos that runs rampant inside us. And it doesn't matter where you live. I have people here from New York, from Hong Kong, from Israel, from Brazil. My God, it's international. From the West Coast, the East Coast of the United States. Everybody has tension, no matter where you live. Mastering that tension and turning it into energy that gives you life, that's an extraordinary thing to learn how to do. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, would you talk about the role that surrender plays?
Yeah, I can talk about it in one sentence. You can only fit so much water in a cup. Now, if we're that cup full of our tension and chaos and craziness and anger and every kind of vitriol, there's no room for spirit to come in. It doesn't even want to come in. It doesn't want to be bothered with us, for God's sake, until we learn how to surrender all that stuff, let go of it, to make room for higher energy to come and nurture our inner lives. And that's what surrender. You got to let go of something. I mean, winter lets go of winter, spring comes, spring lets go of spring, fall. The summer comes, summer lets go of the summer, the fall. Nature does it organically. People cling to every little piece of nonsense that they think justifies their existence. And all most of it does is kill them. You gotta let go. And surrender is not giving up. Surrender is really letting go of everything that's blocking higher energy, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, from coming into you, nurturing you, helping you to build a system that is strong enough to be able to develop your humanity and to be able to live in the world and ultimately activate Kundalini, which is the rocket ship, the pathway to spiritual enlightenment, to oneness with God. And the key to all of this is letting go, surrender. Which is not an easy thing to do because we're all creatures of habit and we've been clinging to all this nonsense almost since the day we were born. We have to, really, it's like, I always talk, it's like a battle of dragons going on inside of letting go versus, I'm not going to let go. I'm going to cling. This is habit. This is how I've always lived. And, it's insanity. And yet it reaches a point where you can just laugh at it. You really can. We take ourselves too seriously. We take ourselves too seriously.
Thank you. That was great.
Does anyone else have a question? Okay, thank you. There'll be meditation on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And, to me, this is a great blessing. I come here, I sit here with all of you, trying to pass on this incredible thing I've learned in my life. And your presence here really demands that I go very deep inside myself. And it's a blessing. So God bless you all. And thank you. And there'll be meditation on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you.
Bye.